I walked away the last time I was witness to this behavior, and it reared its ugly head. And now it's come back in an even more grotesque way. I'm talking about the infiltration of identity politics by Democrats in our local, supposedly nonpartisan Board of Education race. Democratic councilwomen Carolyn Grace and Andrea Stubbs felt it appropriate to pen a letter to Gloucester Township citizens, encouraging them to vote for the Machines candidates. You know the ones. They're on the glossy flyers. While simultaneously hurling unfounded and racial and social economic bias claims at two independent, self-financed board.
Why are you ignoring me?
Because I'm utilizing my 5 minutes.
No. Pause the clock. Okay, is this governmental?
Yes.
This is governmental.
Mm-hmm.
This has to do with the function of government here.
Yes.
It does.
May I continue, please?
So if it doesn't, I feel it doesn't, then I will stop you. If it's political, you can have that conversation with those individuals afterwards or beforehand or another time. But does this deal with the business of government here in Gloucester Township?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I can provide you, Councilwoman Stubbs and Councilwoman Grace, Gloucester Township councilwomen are on this letter. No.
So
May I?
Hold on.
I have my time back?
No, we still have. I paused the clock. So I'm going to ask our solicitor, Mr. Carlmeyer, okay, if he believes that this is not governmental or political, for him to make that call to stop you.
So I'm not familiar with what you're referring to. So, but you've indicated that two council members endorse whatever you held out. Because someone is a member of council, they don't become a second-rate citizen where they can't express their feelings and reactions to whatever that is saying.
And I do. I can't express my opinions and reactions.
So I'm not finished. So they have a right. They don't, just because they're sitting up here as council members doesn't mean they don't have a right to express or weigh into any candidate for running for any position. Whether it's a specific issue or not, they can express who they are and why they're responding. But this is a government meeting, and you have your time to speak on anything that affects this government. But to talk about what someone's personal choice or expression that is out there in political, this is not the forum to do that. Council President is correct.
Okay, well, you have no idea what's the rest written on the rest of my statement, so.
So again, I will stop you if it goes on, crosses that line. Please start the clock.
All right, I think where I left off was that they went after the candidates, Keith Gibbons, Dina Hendry, both who have children in the school system and actively attend Board of Education meetings. I do find it questionable that the councilwomen would use their official statuses to weigh in on a nonpartisan election and do so with blatantly false claims. But to move forward, let's look at those allegations and see why they're false. They stated that Keith and Dina questioned at these council meetings why low-income neighborhoods need playground sidewalks and community centers. It's impossible that Keith would have questioned these staples of any community because although he attends council meetings to stay informed, he does not participate in the open public dialogue portion. I know this because I've attended nearly every meeting for the last 3 years. For Dina, she does participate in the open public dialogue, but I have never heard her advocate for less services to be made available to a particular community. Although she would like to see Andrea Stubbs attend more than 50% of council meetings, since he takes 100% of taxpayer money. And she would like to see Carolyn Grace consider conflicts of interest when voting for redevelopment projects in her neighborhood. All quite reasonable and certainly not quote unquote personal attacks that the councilwomen insinuate took place. Actually, I imagine that neither Andrea nor Carolyn has ever had an extended conversation or cup of coffee with Keith or Dina. I can't even get counsel to respond to my emails. If you are a constituent of Carolyn Grace or Andrea Stubbs, know that they have sold themselves to the identity politicking tactics of the Democratic machine and are actively trying to manipulate their supporters through deceitful statements.
Yeah, that was, okay.